What's up, you guys? Oh my god, it happened. Finally, we got to see the debut collection of Pharrell Williams at Louis Vuitton. The wind is very much howling and screaming right now, so we're gonna do our best. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the audio too much. But Pharrell Williams debut collection, Louis Vuitton, let's just get straight into it. I am going to be reviewing the collection from a consumer's point of view as a fashion enthusiast. I'm not going to be able to really give you like those precise exact references of, oh, he worked with this guy 20 years ago, and when he tied his shoe, he looked up and saw that this woman who was at this house 3 years before that had a sister who also knew their brother. Like, I'm not that well versed in fashion history, but I can tell you what are the hot pieces that I think are worth bugging your essay about, worth saving up for, and just the general vibe of what are we gonna like expect from Pharrell moving forward for the next years, decade, who knows, at Louis Vuitton. So the show was set in Paris, and it was to the track Joy, which was just released. It is the track of the show. If you weren't aware, somehow, Pharrell is a very iconic music producer, so it really makes sense that he will very likely be incorporating music and the music industry into the shows moving forward. The crowd was absolutely bonkers with so many A-list celebrities, and also so many black A-list celebrities, which I think is such an exciting thing for a European fashion house. It's one of the things that I really loved about Virgil was I really loved how he brought this culture that you don't normally see at these very old, sort of stuffy European houses, and brought in this sort of international element with, you know, black American culture. The song is fire. If you haven't heard it, go stream it now. All right, main themes of Pharrell's Louis Vuitton debut show. Let's just go in order. Damier, the Damier print. Damier is sort of this thing that Louis Vuitton does. It's a part of their classic collection. It's actually the original Louis Vuitton, like sort of like monogram before the flowers were introduced. So it's the oldest print that they have. In an interview that he did, he said that he realized that Damier isn't everything. And essentially it's sort of like you have these blocks, but rather than simply looking at it as a checkerboard, you can look at it as the building blocks of the world around us, because once you zoom in enough, everything becomes pixelated. So he's really using those squares and playing with size, color, texture, creating imagery. The biggest way that we're seeing this done is obviously camouflage, as we're calling it. It is the Damier print, but colored in such a way that it mimics a camouflage-esque print. This really reminds me a lot of Bape for some reason, so I think that this style is going to go crazy in the streetwear community. But honestly, if you just like Google Pharrell, like most of the pictures that you see are gonna be of him in Bape, so I feel like this really makes sense as a debut collection, sort of calling on his own fashion through the years, as he is a fashion icon as well. And so we see the camouflage on boots, bags, ready to wear. We even see it in this sort of like burgundy variation, which I thought was really nice because the original camouflage colors are maybe a little bit bold, even though they're very like muted, earthy greens and grays. And we also see it in this denim, which was the look that Rihanna was wearing to the show. I think this is really cool. I think it's really fun. It's a nice subtle way to wear that sort of like camouflage print. And then going off of that concept of these little squares being the building blocks of the world around us, there's also an emphasis on primary colors, which are sort of the building blocks for the colors in the world that we see around us. Those were sort of like the accent colors of the collections. Bold reds, bold yellows, bold blues. And as accent colors, you saw them more in accessories. You saw them in hats, in shoes, in bags, and oh my god. Yes, we're gonna get into the bags because clearly there is a breakout star in this collection. So hold on for a second. Now, pieces that maybe you should start saving up a little bit for. Let's do the shoes first. I know men love their shoes. If you're into rubber boots, camouflage boots, I'm assuming that these are rubber because the little strap on the top looks a bit like rubbery to me, and just the general shape of it and the fact that it's a spring summer, I just feel like these are definitely like a rain boot moment. We also have these indoor slippers. I think there's 2 indoor slippers that he came out with. So one of them, really interesting, is I'm assuming faux fur sort of boot moment, and it's literally like a boot. It's kind of like a little miniature like mischief boot, but it's like a faux fur, or maybe it's a mink, who knows. And then the bottom of it, the sole is sort of like, it looks like an animal foot. It looks like a rubber sole, so these could be both indoor outdoor, but just because that like fur comes down like around to the bottom, I just feel like the wear outside would just be horrendous. Although it would be such a cute moment, so I don't know, I'm conflicted, but like I think it's still really cool. And then secondly, we have these slippers, which I don't know if this monogram or logo is like new or not, but it's like sort of like a cursive-y style, and it's done on top of a damier print with a primary accent color for the inside lining. So I think these are really nice, simple, easy indoor slippers. Perhaps they could also be worn outdoors. I could definitely see these selling as like a sort of like slip-on loafer style. There is more variations of the maxi trainers. That's a very new style for Louis Vuitton. So they have the regular trainers, which is sort of like that very classic silhouette. The maxi trainers are their more oversized, chunky shoe. Those debuted for Spring/Summer 23 with the charms on the laces. So they're more of like a platform sneaker, very like cartoonish, very inflated. These ones they're doing in lots of different colors. I initially thought that it was a crocodile shoe, but because they're also doing that sort of like croc skin in a suede, I think that it's like a mock croc sort of situation. So they have those in army green, yellow, purple, blue. And that's kind of it for exciting shoes. Bags, whew, oh my god. All right, let's just soft speedies. These bags are really nice. So if you're not aware, this is a speedy bag. This is a very classic Louis Vuitton moment, usually done in a coated canvas. As we all know, Louis Vuitton is moving away from canvases, and so they have engineered this new bag, which is supposed to be a very sort of slouchy style in quote-unquote the softest leather you will ever touch. So it's meant to be very soft, very scrunchy. They did this in blue, yellow, orange, purple, all of those colors. It looks really nice. It looks like there's different sizes, so you can get it as small as a little nano charm, all the way to sort of like really big bag vibes. I think that this is such a nice bag. I think this is, you're gonna see this everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I think crossbody, it's gonna look phenomenal just because the leather is so soft. If you get it to like the right length and to hit you in the right spot, I think it's gonna conform to the body really nicely. There were also these sort of like faux shopping bags, very reminiscent, I think, to like the whole Fendi shopping bag collection thing that they were doing for a while. But these are leather tote bags with, I'm assuming, like canvas straps, to mimic the shopping bag that you are given at Louis Vuitton. I think if you're a fan of the brand and you really love like that moment where you're walking from the boutique and you've got your big bag, then this bag is for you. All right, next is probably one of the things from this collection that I'm really interested in this. So Louis Vuitton has their mirror monogram. It's sort of like a very metallic-y like finish on leather or hard-sided goods. Usually we'll see this in gold and silver. It seems that there is to my knowledge, a new color in this mirror monogram that we're getting, and it is a rose gold. They're calling it copper, but it's reading very rose gold. This has such an absolutely stunningly beautiful finish on hard side pieces. So you can see it on this trunk here. I think, you see it on I believe this is called the Alma. I don't really know much about women's bags. But you can see it on this bag here. It's okay, but the finish to me is a little bit crusty. I think it really shines a lot more on like this mini trunk that you could crossbody. I think so gorgeous. There's also a soft mini trunk version. That one is okay too, but again, the finish, I think just the vibe is really there with the hard-sided pieces. And of course, we have to talk about the $1 million elephant in the room. Louis Vuitton is releasing a special edition Speedy in full yellow crocodile with a hand-painted monogram and high jewelry, crossbody chain, and hardware. This bag is $1 million. And not only is it $1 million, but it is only available to purchase for VIA clients, which purchased the Louis Vuitton Treasure Trunk NFT a while back. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially an NFT collectible. So it's an NFT, and then they also ship you the actual version of the digital item that you bought. And it's a $39,000 access to premium Louis Vuitton collectibles. So it's basically this system where now you can no longer just simply buy something, you must be a part of the 200. And from what I understand, it's a soul binding contract. So once you purchase this access into the club, you cannot transfer that membership to someone else. You cannot sell it to someone else. It is attached to your Louis Vuitton account for the rest of your life. And obviously Pharell definitely comes from that like streetwear world where limited edition drops and like high value on the resale market really drives the community and creates community. I think this is something that we can expect to see a lot more of. I think we're going to be seeing way more kooky, crazy, like social media focused type stuff from Louis Vuitton. And then last bag, I just think it's a little bit cute. I hope we definitely see more of this. It's just sort of, it's basically the monogram but with the flowers removed. So all you get are the LV stamps. I think it's simple, easy, cute, classic. I definitely would like to see this on more pieces. Personally for me, if I had to choose, like what do I want from this collection? I think it'd have to be maybe one of the rose gold pieces. I love the Speedies, but I know that this is gonna be something that we are going to be seeing season after season, and I would love to see where he takes that fantasy. You know, right now we have the very basic Louis Vuitton monogram in red, Louis Vuitton monogram in green, but I really want to see like that soft leather material, and I want to see it taken to, you know, something like this. Imagine this motif on a soft Speedy. I think there's a lot of room for it, so I would love that bag, but I want to see it, you know, I want to see it elevated. For ready to wear, I mean, the pearl pieces are mesmerizing. God willing, they're going to be somewhat affordable, but truly I don't think any of the pearl damier pieces are going to be within any sort of reasonable budget. Oh, and then these hats. I just think they're fun. They are so simple. I love the seamless vibe. I like that they're leather. I think they're really fun. Like, I could imagine just putting one of these on and just feeling like I'm like a cartoon character from like 1995. So that was Louis Vuitton by Pharrell Williams. Let me know if there's anything in that collection that you are looking forward to. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't cover that you think people need to know about this. Why didn't you cover this? And I'm really excited for this next chapter at Louis Vuitton. I love the sort of like international worldview. I love the youth. You know, that's what I like fashion houses that aren't afraid of being young. I know that's hard because young people don't have much money. We're starting off with very little and working our way up. But I still really enjoy that playfulness. I enjoy that sort of inner child essence that we are getting from new Louis Vuitton. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.